Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome to reading for. This is your bonus March reading, and you have this approve in this record card. Some of you literally could be approving a record of something at this time, or you could be getting approval on something, which would be great with those two cards. That record card is also record, and so it might be a great time for you to kind of write things down or write down your ideas or your plans or your goals. And it might be a good time for planning as well. I'm getting intuitively off of that card. So if you're planning to do anything, now would be the time. I also get this need to. It's almost like you need to look at your results at this time. Like, especially, let's say you've been working on a business or your career for a couple of years or longer, of course. I would be looking at the results you're getting. And for whatever reason, it's like this magician is saying to me that you need to look at your results and say to yourself, have I grown or are things the same? I don't know. That's a question that's popping into my head. I read intuitively. I just say whatever pops into my head, and that's what I'm getting off of this magician. I feel like the magician is saying that, if things have not grown, then there are things that you could learn from the magician that would make your, business, career, or even yourself. Like maybe you're trying to improve your health or anything else about yourself. Now would be a good time to look at that. And then I think your next step is to look at your tools. He has mastery over all the tools in the tarot here. And so, if he maybe looks at what he has grown and he says to himself, I've been using my pentacles to grow my business, but really it hasn't grown over the past couple years. Maybe I need to use my creativity with the wands, or maybe I need to put some more emotion behind the thing that I'm doing, right? And so, again, I think looking at those, what you have been doing and saying what energy is missing from what I'm doing, that would be very, very helpful for you. And I think it really would make all the difference in the world. So that's what I would focus on. Your crossing energy, or the crossing energy in a Celtic cross can be what hurts you or helps you, is the King of Cups. So how you feel clearly about something is going to make all the difference in the world as well. I don't really feel good or bad about the King of Cups in your reading. I feel that it's just saying you need to look at your emotional state. Again, he has very deep emotions. He has explored how he feels about what he's doing to a very deep level. And because he understands how he feels, he is perfectly fine in these choppy waters. So it might be a good time for you to explore your results, like we were already saying, and then also explore how you feel about those results, and then kind of go from there. I feel that would help guide you to the right tool for the job with the magician. Next, in the area of your thoughts, you have the Queen of Cups. Now, King and Queen of Cups are divine counterparts. We do have a little bit of love here, so if you do want love, there could be a strong love connection coming in for you. Although the King, we are going to clarify the reading, but the King of Cups is crossing, so we'll have to figure that one out. The Queen of Cups is about thinking, this is coming up in the area of your thoughts or what's on your mind. And so this could be you thinking about your connection to your heart, or what gets you excited? What wakes you up in the morning? Sometimes, in life we get so excited about an idea that we wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning because we just can't wait to get going. And it's almost like that's the feeling I get off the Queen of Cups. I don't think you have that right now. Maybe some of you do, maybe some of you don't. And I feel that discovering that feeling in your life is what the Queen of Cups is trying to get you to do. It's almost like this reading, there are no exciting cards here, which is very weird, but it's almost like this reading is saying you need to get excited again, or maybe you are looking to get inspired and excited again. That's almost what I feel off of the reading. So I don't know, you tell me, maybe I'm wrong. You have the Ten of Swords in your foundation. Something is dead done over with in your life, plain and simple. I think I said this to you in one of your recent readings. It might have been the live I just did with Devin Dewar on her channel. In that reading, I said something about how there's something that is dead done over with that you have to release. It seems to me like it's an activity, or maybe a project you're working on, and it could involve other people or something like that as well. I'm getting the literal stabbed in the back feeling off of the Ten of Swords, but it's popping into my head differently. Some of you might be thinking that if you do something that you are going to be stabbing a person in the back or something like that. I'm not telling you to not care about other people's feelings, but that's not what I'm saying, right? What I'm saying is I feel that you need to not worry so much about a person's feelings in a situation, especially if something isn't working. Like if you're working on a project with a person, it's not going anywhere. It's like, yeah, maybe they will feel like you stabbed them in the back, but at the same time, it's not working, right? And, that's something that I think you need to think about with the Ten of Swords. Next, in the past position, this is the energy that you are moving past. You have this Komodo dragon card. It says ferocity, survival instinct, and revolutionary change. Pluto in Aquarius is revolutionary change. You have this salmon. It says sagacity, new ideas, and divination. So you probably are getting a lot of intuitive ideas right now. And I would be embracing those ideas. They literally could make you money. You Pisces, all that energy in Pisces is going to be intuitive ideas that could increase your value. And I would be, even though it's coming up in the past, I would be trusting those ideas now. I think that there could be a lot of opportunity in kind of embracing new ideas. When you think about it, salmon have a lot to do with death, right? Salmon swim upstream, they breed, they die, but they also like feed the ecosystem. And so it's like sometimes we, what am I trying to spit out here? Sorry, my brother distracted me just now. He texted me, and it was about, I could see it on my computer over here. It was about this long. So anyway, I'm going to ignore that for right now, but there's something about like you feeding the ecosystem. It's like a natural part of life going through these deaths and rebirths. So you might be letting go of something with the Ten of Swords and also the Two of Swords here, but really it's almost like this death is going to be nurturing the next stage of your evolution. I don't mean to make this to sound like it's better than it actually is, but I feel for a lot of you that you something is being let go of or transformed in your life, and you could be opening up to like new ways of doing things. I always say that the Two of Swords, she's thinking this or that, but really she needs to get over to this island. The other thing is she has a blindfold on, and blindfolds in the tarot represent needing to trust your intuition, so I definitely feel that there is a need for you to trust your intuition at this time with that card. Next, in the area of your very near future, you have this Moon Memories card. It says the past on it. You have this Moon Dance. It says celebration on it. I'm laughing because of the past thing. We have a lot of kind of past energy showing up in this reading. Maybe not really, but Ten of Swords, kind of. Ten of Swords, he's kind of stuck in the past. He's holding on to a situation as it currently is, and he needs to like move on to something new. And I think that could lead to a celebration for you. Also, in the very near future, you have the Four of Swords. With all these retrogrades, I tell everyone, especially, until May, that people should be, it's like, don't try to force things to work. Don't, put too much pressure on yourself. I do feel people could be feeling a lot of mental pressure in the month of March, and the type of mental pressure that I'm talking about is that you have this idea in your head that you should be at a certain place. Whatever that is, maybe it's a certain amount of money, maybe it's that you think you should be married, or maybe that it's you think you should be at a certain level of success. That is the type of pressure that we're all probably putting on ourselves, and I feel like the Four of Swords is saying like, chill out. Number one, things will get better, between now and May. It's I always say astrology is like a spectrum. It's not like you're going to be suffering from now until that time. It's funny. The other day, someone asked me. They said, I have this astrological transit in my chart right now that's going to last 2 years, and I feel terrible right now. I'm going to feel terrible for the next 2 years. I'm like, no, that's not how astrology works. Number one, it's like most astrological long-term transits, they kind of have their orb, right, where they're in perfect alignment, and then the planets move and jiggle a little bit, and it's probably long-term transit because the planet's retrograding, so it kind of like jiggles away, and then it comes back, right? So the energy is not always as intense. Plus, the whole point of astrology is you're learning from now until the end of the transit, right? So between now and May, it's like you're learning things. Things will improve as you go along, as long as you're doing your part to learn, right? And so that's what I want to say. Rant over with the Four of Swords. Next, in your outcome row, you have this success card, so definitely could be success. You also have this protection card as well. I think this is what everyone needs to learn. When I spoke in Texas last year at Unite the Light, and I think when I was on stage, I said something that about how my concern between now and like 2033 is that there's going to be a lot of people who worry from now until then about things that could happen, and they just do nothing, then we're going to get to 2033, things are going to improve, and they're going to look back and they're going to be like, oh my God, I did nothing for 10 years. So I feel people need to realize that they are protected, and that your potential for success is protected, but you have to embrace the potential and make things happen. And that's really what I would do between now and 2033. You have the Hangman in the area of the next few months. Again, a perfectly fine energy to get between now and May, because you could say that May is basically a few months away now at this point. And the Hangman is about gaining knowledge. He is put himself in hangman mode so that he can gain enlightenment, but he's hanging from the tree of knowledge and wisdom. So I think it would be a great time to learn. One thing I would say is I would learn by doing at this time. Yes, we do have Mercury going retrograde at the end of the month, and yes, we have Venus retrograde right now. Literally today, March 1st, Mercury will be going retrograde. Venus will be going retrograde. But what I would say is, make those mistakes. I encourage people to make mistakes during Mercury retrograde, especially because we learn from our mistakes 10 times faster. Something that might take a year for you to learn, you can learn in like a month during Mercury retrograde. So, again, as long as the mistake isn't going to cause your death, then I would say make the mistakes. You will learn from them a lot faster. Next, in the area of your closest relationships, you have the Five of Wands. This is what I was saying with that Ten of Swords. Five of Wands, this area of the reading is all relationships that you belong to. And so some of you could be dealing with some challenges or whatever in your closest relationships. And, I think this is about part of me feels you're putting a little bit too much pressure on the relationship. Like you're saying if I leave this person or if I leave this business, then they're really going to suffer, or they're going to feel like I'm stabbing them in the back. It really is giving me a vibe of caring too much about what people think of you, and I really just think there's no way around it here, Aquarius. So, again, if you belong to a group you want to leave, or if you're working on a project with people that just isn't working and you have to leave, there is no good solution, sorry, other than to just leave and not care what those people think after, right? It's almost like saying, this is saying, you need to put yourself first, yes. It's giving you permission to be greedy, but it's not really greed. It's like if you're on a sinking ship and there's a life raft out on the water and everybody on the boat is saying, I'm staying on the boat, it'll float. But you're thinking to yourself, no, we're halfway underwater right now. I need to get on that life raft. It's like, who is correct? You. In the area of your future feelings, you have the Temperance card. Temperance, of course, is about patience, but Temperance is transformation and alchemy. I think we all need to work on this right now, taking situations that we want to improve and improving them. And so I would do whatever you can, educate yourself, learn your tools with the Magician would be very helpful with the Temperance card as well. Your outcome is the Six of Cups, which is amazing. I look at the Six of Cups as a gift from the universe sometimes, and usually the gift we receive with this card is a turnaround, meaning that we can be bumping up against obstacles, and then when we get the Six of Cups, it kind of represents the removal of those obstacles. So you really could be removing your obstacles at this time. But let's see what we get for you here, Aquarius. And sorry, my allergies are really bad today. I cannot breathe. So if you're hearing weird noises, it's because there's about 20 pounds of booger stuck up in my head. So there you go. Let's see. With the Magician and the King of Cups here, you have the Page of Swords. Page of Swords is a card of curiosity. So again, experimentation with the Magician, just trying new things, trying new tools, trying different approaches. Temperance as well is a different approach, would be very beneficial for you at this time. With the Queen of Cups, you have the Nine of Cups. This is thinking about wish fulfillment, which is good. When half the battle to manifesting something is being able to see it, right? Being able to see what you want, and then being able to align with the energy. That is the whole trick with manifestation. So I really feel that Nine of Cups is saying it's manifestation time. It's time for you to be able to see what you want, and then being able to make it happen. The Nine of Cups is about getting into alignment. And again, with all this Pisces energy, it's an amazing time to manifest. I think one of the easiest things to do is to, adopt the habits of success with whatever it is you're trying to do. So that's what I would do. With the Ten of Swords, what do you know? You have the Judgment card. Can't make this stuff up, literally. The Judgment card is about getting out of the coffin. These people are being called up out of their coffins. The coffin represents their old life, outside the coffin is their new life, and they need to get out of the coffin and step into their new life. I was literally saying with the Ten of Swords that it's almost like you need to let something die, right? And that's really what I feel here. With the Two of Swords, you have the Moon. Nobody knows the future. I've been feeling this for a few months for people, that I feel there is a lot of future fear right now, more than normal. And the Moon says nobody knows the future. No one knows what's going to happen. So, number one, don't assume that you do know what's going to happen. Number two, if you have a goal, the whole point of the Moon is that it's part of the Fool's journey. And he needs to get from here to here and to those mountains. Now, the mountains can be a challenge, but they can also represent an achievement. So I feel for a lot of you, it's about like needing to do something without knowing the outcome, and that would be good. With the Four of Swords, you have the Chariot. Amazing. Yes, definitely a victory could be coming in for you. Chariot's all about setting yourself apart. And I think with Pluto and Aquarius energy is definitely encouraging people to set themselves apart, to be a leader at this time. One of the things, I don't worry about it, but I definitely think about it, is Neptune moving into Aries. Neptune will go into Aries this year. It'll retrograde back into Pisces. Then at the end of the year, it will go back into Aries. And basically like the beginning of 2026 is when we really kind of get going with Neptune and Aries. And Neptune and Aries is like looking for a savior, looking for a person who has all the answers. The spiritual lesson of Neptune and Aries is to learn that only you have the answers. So the Chariot is a great card for practicing that, because he's setting himself apart. He's leaving the city behind him behind. And I kind of feel that's why the Chariot shows up so much. Like literally everybody's been getting the Chariot for like a year now. And I feel the universe is prepping people to be able to make their own choices and decisions. And if you do that, you'll be more successful. With the Hangman, you have the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is stability. I would be careful of comfort. It's definitely popping into my head. Like, I think that we're not necessarily in a comfortable time, and we kind of need to embrace it. I think that sometimes I do feel that comfort is a bad thing. When you think about it, people say like, oh, I'll be happy when I just make $1 million. They make $1 million. Maybe they're able to do it, right? They get that $1 million. I've seen it happen so many times to people I know. And, like other business people I've worked with and stuff. And then they start resting on their laurels. They stop doing things that made them successful in the first place. And then they get uncomfortable. And, I feel that sometimes comfort is the enemy. And I feel the King of Pentacles kind of is saying like, don't rest on your laurels, right? I feel like I said that to you recently as well. With the Five of Wands, you have the Wheel of Fortune. This could be a change in your fortunes, definitely a change in the people that you deal with day to day. I feel that is changing for you at this time. But the Wheel of Fortune could be a change in your fortunes. It could also be you realizing that if you surround yourself with better people, that better things happen, right? The Wheel of Fortune is also a card of momentum. It picks up speed as it moves in a certain direction. The problem with the Wheel of Fortune is most people live in what I call the washing machine of life. They just get tossed around in both directions, and they don't pay attention to the direction. So I would make sure you're surrounding yourself with good people, because then you'll be going forward, and as it picks up speed, it picks up speed. With the Temperance card, you have the Seven of Cups here. Seven of Cups you always get with me. Seven of Cups is thinking about all the what ifs. What if this happens? What if that happens? If I start that business and I lose all my friends, or whatever story you can tell yourself. And so I feel like you need to not tell yourself stories and take action. With the Six of Cups, you have the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles says, is the juice worth the squeeze? Is it worth it to keep working on the things you've been working on? Or is there something different or better that you could be doing with your life? And I don't know. I can't answer that question for you. You have to be the one to answer it. So there you go. You have this woman card. I always clarify these woman cards and the man cards. It says dealings or relationships with a woman. And you have this fair woman card. So it's getting more specific. It says dealings or relationships with a woman with blonde, gray, or white hair. So you might be dealing with a woman who looks like that. You have this tiger card. It says doing something risky, taking a chance. Yeah, if I were an Aquarius or a Leo, I would be taking risks, more risks at this time. I am not an Aquarius or Leo, and I am taking more risks at this time. And so, I literally have 0 Leo in my chart. I have Mercury in of course, my rising is Aquarius. But, again, I think it's an amazing time for Aquarius and Leo specifically to take risks. So if you have Leo in your chart as well, I would, multiply that energy by 2. And we're not talking about uncalculated risks here. We're talking about, calculated risks that you've thought through. But, definitely a good time for you to take risks. Calculated. You have this egg card. It says, success assured with good plans and hard work. Yes, it is a very successful reading. So I would be, working on whatever you're working on. You have this wind chimes card. It says peace and harmony on it. I think anything you can do to bring more peace and harmony into your life would be a good thing, and that includes avoiding people who steal your energy, who don't make you feel peaceful, people who cause problems or slow you down. That's the energy that I would be avoiding with this card. You have this October card in this archway. It says new opportunities, possibilities, and paths opening up. So between now and October, there could be a lot of new kind of directions that you could be going in. Funny enough, the Seven of Cups is a card of giving yourself options. But usually with the Seven of Cups, we have to start to have those options open up in the first place. And that's what I would do here. It's like I always tell people, I teach YouTube on the weekends, and people always tell me, I'm not sure what I want to start talking about. I'm like, just get started. And once you get started, you'll have plenty of ideas that kind of enter into your head and just go from there, right? And so I kind of feel the Seven of Cups is saying that. But I really like this for you, Aquarius. It looks really good. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.